आज का हमारा पॉडकास्ट एक ऐसे विषय पे है जिसको लेके लोगों के दिल और दिमाग में सबसे ज्यादा डर फैला हुआ है और इसलिए हमने सोचा कि एक ऐसे एक्सपर्ट डॉक्टर को बुलाते हैं जो इसके डर को ही नहीं दूर करें बल्कि इस खतरनाक बीमारी से कैसे बचा जा सकता है वो भी हमें बताएं। जी हाँ, आप लोग ठीक सोच रहे हैं। आज हम कैंसर पे बात करने वाले हैं और इस विषय पे बात करने के लिए हमारे पॉडकास्ट पे आज जो गेस्ट आई हुई हैं वो है डॉक्टर सबीना रुमाओ। डॉक्टर सबीना रुमाओ इज अ हिस्टोपैथोलॉजिस्ट। डॉक्टर सबीना, we welcome you for a stimulating conversation on all things health. Dr. Sabina, before we start examining the subject very deeply, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Sabina Rumau. I'm a histopathologist, and I have studied my medical school from CGS Medical College, which is attached to KEM Hospital. After that, I did my MD in pathology from Tata Memorial Hospital, where we were trained to see the cancer biopsies. Following this, I have done my fellowship from Royal College of London, and my specialty was histopathology.
डॉक्टर सबीना, सबसे पहले ये बताइए हिस्टोपैथोलॉजी होता क्या है?
हिस्टोपैथोलॉजी ज्यादा किसी को पता नहीं है कि हिस्टोपैथोलॉजी क्या होता है, बिकॉज हिस्टोपैथोलॉजिस्ट जो है ये बैकग्राउंड में काम करते हैं. वी आर द बैकग्राउंड वर्कर्स. वी हेल्प इन ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ कैंसर, बट वी ऑलवेज वर्क इन द बैकग्राउंड. सो बेसिकली व्हेन अ पेशेंट or any person has any lump or anything, they go to their doctor. The doctor examines them, but just by examining they cannot tell whether that is tumor is benign or malignant.
Benign or malignant, इसको भी थोड़ा सिंप्लीफाई करके ऑडियंस को आप एक्सप्लेन करें.
Yes. So tumor मतलब any swelling or lump in the body is called as tumor.
ठीक है.
The tumors can be benign or malignant. Now, what is benign and what is malignant? So, benign is when the tumor grows in its location. मतलब कोई भी टिश्यू का मल्टीप्लिकेशन जब होता है तो उसका ट्यूमर फॉर्म होता है. जब भी वो उधर ही रहता है, मतलब स्प्रेड नहीं होता है, तो उसको बेनाइन करके बोलते हैं.
Okay.
बट अगर ट्यूमर ऐसा है कि ग्रोथ हो रहा है और वो स्प्रेड भी हो रहा है बॉडी में, सो दैट इज मेलिग्नेंट और दैट इज कैंसर.
Okay.
So there are two types, basically benign and malignant.
Okay.
So the role of histopathologist मैं बता रही थी. So जब डॉक्टर एग्जामिन करते हैं तो सिर्फ एग्जामिन करके वो बता नहीं सकते कि वो कैंसर है कि नहीं है. So in situation like this, they take a biopsy. बायोप्सी मतलब जो ट्यूमर है उसका एक छोटा टुकड़ा निकाला जाता है जो कि हिस्टोपैथोलॉजिस्ट के पास भेजते हैं फॉर रिपोर्टिंग. उसके ऊपर हम स्टडी करते हैं एंड वी based on the studies, we can tell whether it is a benign tumor or it is a cancer.
Okay.
And if it is a cancer, then what type of cancer it is. And more than that, what kind of treatment will help it. So this all comes in the histopathology report. This report, when it goes back to the doctor or your clinician, he then treats the patient accordingly. And if suppose it is a surgery that needs to be done, they do a surgery and the sample again comes back to a histopathologist. On that sample, which is like the operated sample, we have to tell what type of cancer it was, what was the stage of the tumor, and whether the tumor was completely removed out of the body or not. So this we call as margin status. कि जब भी सर्जरी हुआ तभी पूरा ट्यूमर निकाला गया या some tumor is still left back in the body. So this is all that the histopathologist plays the role in the cancer treatment.
Okay. तो ये जो सर्जन जब ऑपरेट करते हैं पेशेंट पे, तो ये उनको समझ में नहीं आता कि क्या पूरा ट्यूमर निकाला या पूरे ट्यूमर को एक्सट्रैक्ट किया कि नहीं, क्योंकि जो सर्जरी करने वाले हैं, आई एम आस्किंग दिस क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम अ कॉमन मैन्स point of view. So my lens is of a common man.
Yeah.
And तो मेरा पूछने का मतलब ये है कि अगर कोई सर्जन एक्सट्रैक्ट करता है ट्यूमर को या लंप को, तो वो सर्जन को क्यों समझ में नहीं आता कि हमने पूरा एक्सट्रैक्ट किया कि नहीं?
ओके, सो इसमें क्या है, जो कैंसर है उसका ग्रोथ जो है ऐसे रेगुलर नहीं होता है, मतलब ऐसे गोल नहीं होता है, वो ऐसे स्प्रेड होता है। ओके, एंड सेकेंडली जब कैंसर निकालते हैं तो उसके बाजू में नॉर्मल टिश्यू का एक मार्जिन भी रहना चाहिए। सर्जन को जो ग्रोथ ऐसे आंख से दिखता है वही वो निकाल सकता है, लेकिन माइक्रोस्कोपिक स्प्रेड भी होता है कैंसर का, वो भी निकलना चाहिए।
ओके,
So that is why a histopathologist has to look it under the microscope and make sure that microscopic कुछ रह नहीं गया है।
ओके, 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 ठीक है। सो आई विल फर्दर सिंप्लीफाई इट। जैसे एक पैथोलॉजिस्ट होता है या जैसे एक पैथोलॉजी की लैब होती है जहां पे जब भी किसी को कोई नॉर्मल बीमारी हो जाए तो ब्लड सैंपल्स और यूरिन सैंपल्स और स्टूल सैंपल्स उस लैब में भेजे जाते हैं और पैथोलॉजिस्ट उस सैंपल्स की इन्वेस्टिगेशन करके ये बताते हैं कि अब नॉर्मलिटी कहाँ पे है इन टर्म्स ऑफ द वैल्यूज एंड द रीडिंग्स दैट रिफ्लेक्ट इन द रिपोर्ट। और फिर जो डॉक्टर्स होते हैं, डॉक्टर्स उस रिपोर्ट को इंटरप्रेट करके पेशेंट्स को बताते हैं कि आपको ये बीमारी है। वैसे ही जो हिस्टोपैथोलॉजिस्ट होते हैं वो सिर्फ कैंसर के सैंपल्स को इन्वेस्टिगेट करते हैं। जब भी किसी डॉक्टर को ये डाउट आता है ईदर बिकॉज ऑफ सम सिम्टम्स और अ लंप और अ ट्यूमर विच इज फाउंड इन अ पेशेंट्स बॉडी, जब भी किसी डॉक्टर को ये डाउट आता है कि ये कैंसरस हो सकता है या मैलिग्नेंट हो सकता है, तो उसके बायोप्सी सैंपल्स को एक हिस्टोपैथोलॉजिस्ट के पास भेजा जाता है। और हिस्टोपैथोलॉजिस्ट का रोल ये है कि वो उसे ठीक से उस सैंपल्स की जांच करते हैं और ये कंक्लूजन पे आते हैं कि ये मैलिग्नेंट है या बिनाइन।
Yes, but histopathologist का role is not limited to cancer only. There are many other things like tuberculosis, or other many benign illnesses also which are diagnosed by the histopathologist.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, वो कौन सी illnesses हैं? आपने एक TB बताया, दूसरा
TB is common, sarcoidosis is common. So anytime there is a lump or anything, it will be always sent to the histopathologist.
Okay.
Secondly, when a patient undergoes even the routine procedures like appendectomy or cholecystectomy, it is always sent for a histopathological examination to rule out if there is any cancer in it, or at least a beginning of cancer.
Perfect, perfect. डॉक्टर सबीना, अभी सबसे पहले हमें ये बताएं आप, what is cancer?
So as we already just spoke about it, so cancer is uncontrolled growth of any tissue in the body. So when the tissue starts multiplying without any control, that is when the cancer, and the speciality of cancer cells is that they can spread anywhere in the body. So a benign tumor grows in its place, whereas a cancer cells, they grow in their place and they spread everywhere in the body. That is what kills the person.
Okay, okay. So cancer is multiplication of cells
and spread.
And there is a medical term for it. Please correct me if I am wrong. It is called as apoptosis. Is apoptosis?
No. So apoptosis is the death of the cell, basically. And normally after the cell is done with its life cycle, it dies. So apoptosis is seen even in the cancer cells and non-cancer cells. But if you have a lot of cancer cells growing, there'll be a lot of apoptosis as well.
Okay.
But it is not specific for cancer.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Dr. Sabina, कैंसर के symptoms क्या होते हैं?
Okay. So this is a very basic questions which is being asked by a lot of people. Now the problem is that whenever any common symptom you take, like headache or nausea, or for that matter weight loss, and you Google it, one of the causes is always going to be cancer. This is because the cancer symptoms are just the basic symptoms and they are very subtle. What we need to understand is that we need to pay attention to our body, because body gives us the signals which are very subtle, and we need to note and investigate them. So let us talk about some warning signs of cancer.
Okay.
So one of the most important sign is unexplained weight loss. So when
वजन का कम हो जाना
और आप उसको एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर पा रहे, like you're not dieting or you're not working out too much or you're not eating less or anything like that, but you're losing weight. So if something like this happens, it needs to be worked up, it needs to be examined कि ये किसके वजह से हो रहा है, because it is one of the common symptoms of cancer. The other is change in the bowel habits, bowel and bladder habits. So getting repeated constipations or loose motions, this can be a sign of intestinal cancer. The other symptom would be any lump, especially a painless lump.
A painless lump. Okay.
Yeah. So for example, there's a lump in the breast or which does not pain or anything, it needs to be investigated. Okay. Similarly, one more lump which is common is a lump in thyroid. So thyroid is an organ which is here in front of the neck. Okay. And many a times it swells up. Most of the times it can be a benign thing that is happening over there. But there are few cases in which it is actually cancer. And in fact, I have to tell you, it is very common in young individuals, young females. Okay. That they get a swelling of thyroid. And when investigated, it turns out to be a carcinoma of thyroid. Okay. And if it is diagnosed early, which it should be because it can be seen very superficially, then it can be treated completely and the patient can have a normal lifespan after that. Okay. Okay. The other symptom would be if suppose a postmenopausal woman, she's getting bleeding. So in that case, it needs to be investigated because this can be a symptom of endometrial carcinoma. Okay. Or even cervical carcinoma. So postmenopausal bleeding has to be investigated. Now, postmenopausal bleeding is basically perimenopausal is when if a woman stops menstruating for more than 6 months, that's when we say she's menopausal. Okay. So after those 6 months, if she's getting any kind of bleeding, then she needs to show her gynac, get it investigated. Okay. Okay. So the other warning signs would be something like repeated headaches. You need to pay attention to it because you cannot just put it on migraine or lack of sleep all the time. If patient is having repeated headaches, which cannot be explained by anything, it can be a sign of brain tumors. Okay. Another thing would be fever. If patient is having fever, which cannot be explained by something like viral or malaria, dengue. Like for viral, the fever will stay for 4 to 7 days and then it will subside. For malaria, dengue, you have blood tests which will show the positive reports. But suppose there's a patient who's having fever for a very long time and we are not able to explain it, then it can be a sign of cancer. Okay. Also a sign of tuberculosis as well. So it needs to be ruled out. Correct. And that is why histopathologists are needed. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I had also read somewhere, Dr. Sabina, that when the size of the moles that we have on our body, हमारे शरीर पे तिल होते हैं और जब वो तिल की साइज बढ़ती है, अब नॉर्मली बढ़ती है, तो ये भी एक वार्निंग साइन है. क्या ये बात सही है? Yes, it is true. So the moles, when they suddenly increase in size, it is significant. It needs to be investigated. Okay. But मैं आपको एक बात बता सकती हूँ कि ये जो moles में जो cancer होता है, which is a melanoma, is very uncommon in Indian population. Okay. So it's more in the Western world or India में, because we have brown skin. So it's not very common. So melanoma is a type of skin cancer? Yes. और आप ये बोल रही हैं कि skin cancer Indians को या Indian population में बहुत कम पाया जाता है. Brilliant. Okay. ये तो हो गए कैंसर के symptoms. तो आपने ये कहा कि unexplained weight loss, change in the bowel bladder habits, bowel and bladder habits, and constant headaches, fever, and ये जो मोल का हमने भी एक कोरिलेशन की हमने बात की. One more thing I would say is reflux or bloating. Acid reflux, bloating. Okay. These can also be signs of cancer. Feeling full very fast after eating. So these are all the signs of cancer. Because repeated reflux and bloating. These are signs of stomach cancer.
Okay.
So if there's a patient who's getting repeated reflux and which cannot be explained, then we need to investigate it. Now, I'm not trying to scare everybody because all these signs are which you see every day in your life.
Yeah, especially in today's time, I think 5 out of 10 people, okay, are suffering from acid reflux or some kind of a stomach problem. But what you're saying is that it can be one of the symptoms.
One of the symptoms. One of the symptoms. That is why whenever there are symptoms or signs like this, we need to consult a doctor and we need to try and control these symptoms. We need to make some appropriate lifestyle changes which are needed. Because even though, suppose, reflux may not be the sign at the moment for cancer, but repeated reflux over the years can cause cancer at later date. Okay. So it needs to be treated.
Right. Perfect. Dr. Sabina, आप हमें ये बताएं, कैंसर का नाम सुनते ही हर किसी के होश उड़ जाते हैं और लोग इतनी मायूसी एक्सपीरियंस करते हैं जब पता चलता है कि किसी को कैंसर है या उनके फैमिली में किसी को कैंसर हुआ है. आज जहां पे मेडिकल साइंस पहुंचा है, कैंसर की जो ट्रीटमेंट्स हैं वो कितनी इफेक्टिव है, और आपने जब सिम्टम्स की बात की तो मैं आपसे और एक क्वेश्चन पूछता हूं, फिर हम ट्रीटमेंट पे जाएंगे. लेकिन ये क्वेश्चन कनेक्टेड है. कैंसर में 4 स्टेजेस होते हैं, स्टेज 1, स्टेज 2, स्टेज 3, स्टेज 4, ठीक है. लेकिन एक स्टेज 0 होता है, और आप हमें ये बताएं कि अगर स्टेज 0 पे कैंसर को आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया या डिटेक्ट कर लिया तो उसकी जो ट्रीटमेंट है वो कितनी इफेक्टिव है विज़-वी अगर किसी ने स्टेज 2 या स्टेज 3 पे कैंसर को डिटेक्ट किया.
Okay, so cancer, as you said, is a dreaded disease. So the key to cancer treatment is early detection.
Okay.
So as you said, stage 0. Right? So there are many cancer. Basically, there are many organs in the body in which the cancer can be diagnosed before it actually occurs, which we call as stage 0.
Okay.
So that is something which we histopathologists call as carcinoma in situ.
Okay.
So अगर कार्सिनोमा इन साइटू स्टेज पे अगर कोई डिटेक्ट होता है डिसीज, सो मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम एक्सिशन मतलब उसका सर्जरी करके निकाल के इनफ हो जाता है, उसको कीमोथेरेपी की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है.
ओके.
So that is very beneficial because you can avoid the chemotherapy. So that is why we are promoting mammography so much. Because with mammography, it has
mammography is done to
detect breast
cancer. Okay. Yeah.
So mammography helps detect breast cancer at the earliest. It is recommended that all the women above 40 should undergo mammography every alternate years.
Okay.
And above 50 every year.
Okay.
And if they have a family history, somebody has a family history of breast cancer, like family history in mother or in maternal side of the family, then they should do it at the age of 30-35. That's when they should start.
Okay.
So mammography helps to detect cancer at very early stage. And such patients can be treated with only the lumpectomy. मतलब जो lump है उतना ही निकालने की जरूरत है, पूरा breast निकालने की जरूरत नहीं है.
Okay.
So only lump can be removed, and they can even in some cases avoid chemotherapy.
लेकिन ये तभी मुमकिन है जब इसे कोई स्टेज 0 पे डिटेक्ट कर रहे हैं. ओके. और स्टेज 0 पे अगर डिटेक्ट करना है तो रेगुलर मैमोग्राफी करवाना बहुत जरूरी है. ठीक है. डॉक्टर सबीना, कैंसर को लेके कोई वैक्सीन्स डेवलप हुई है क्या? कोई ऐसी वैक्सीन है जिससे कि अलग प्रकार के या किसी एक प्रकार के कैंसर से बचा जा सके?
Yes. So for years we have been trying to treat cancer. There was nothing to prevent it. Right? But the recent developments what we have got in cancer treatment is the prevention. And in that we talk about HPV vaccine. So which
HPV
is
vaccine.
HPV vaccine, which is human papilloma virus. This virus infects through sexual route.
Okay.
Transmits by sexual transmission.
Okay.
And when any person gets infected by it, this virus is not cleared by the body. As a result, it remains in the body. And over the years, it might cause cancer.
Okay.
So this virus is responsible for cervical cancer. And the other cancer is the oropharyngeal cancer. So the studies have been done, and it has been shown that if we give HPV vaccine to young girls, women, who are not yet sexually active, like the teenagers, then they will be protected from getting this infection, and hence they will be protected against the cervical cancer in future.
Okay.
So it is extremely important that young girls, like now it is recommended from the age of 9 to 15, and even from 15 to 40 years. It is definitely beneficial to give the HPV vaccine.
Okay.
But one more thing is, HPV is also causative for oropharyngeal carcinomas, which is the tumor of throat.
Okay.
So, in fact, HPV vaccines can also be useful in boys.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
But the studies have not yet given us the concrete results. So, the studies are still underway. So, in India, at present, HPV vaccine has been recommended for use amongst the women and young girls, but amongst boys the studies have not yet been concluded.
डॉक्टर सबीना, आज हम ये बात कर रहे हैं और ये जब हमारा पॉडकास्ट रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है, टुडे इज द 30th of March 2024 सैटरडे, और आज के टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया में हमारे आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने बिल गेट्स के साथ जो उनकी मीटिंग हुई, उसमें उन्होंने ये कहा है दैट ही वांट्स टू एंश्योर दैट every girl child in India should be protected against cervical cancer. तो वो ये उनका बोलना ये था कि he will ensure कि every girl child gets this vaccine, जिससे कि human papilloma virus उनकी सिस्टम में आने से पहले ही न्यूट्रलाइज हो जाए, क्योंकि अगर वैक्सीन ली है तो उनकी बॉडी में वो इम्यूनिटी पहले से है.
Exactly. So this is absolutely needed because at present the vaccine is quite expensive because it is only in the private sector.
Okay.
But if we want all the population to be covered, then it is very important the government gives the funding to the vaccination. So the other vaccine which is funded by the government already is the hepatitis B vaccine.
Okay.
So hepatitis B vaccine is routinely given to all the children now, and hepatitis B vaccine prevents the hepatitis B in the population, and which is a cause responsible for liver cancer.
Okay.
One of the reasons for liver cancer is hepatitis B. So by taking the hepatitis B vaccine, we are protected against the liver cancer.
ये hepatitis B होता कैसे है?
So hepatitis B, the spread जो है इसका रूट से, एक तो by blood transfusions,
okay,
by needles injuries, or by sexual transmission.
Okay. So people who have unprotected sex,
yes,
people who have blood transfusions,
yeah,
and people who are doing drugs.
Absolutely.
These kind of people are
yes,
susceptible, vulnerable, and are at risk.
As well as healthcare workers, because there are very high chances of getting needle stick injury amongst the health.
What is a needle stick injury?
So, like for example, I am drawing blood and from a patient who is a hepatitis B positive, and suddenly that needle hits me.
Okay.
That's a needle stick injury.
But usually the healthcare workers are supposed to, they're supposed to wear medical gloves.
Absolutely. We wear everything, all the protective gears. But in case of an emergency, this does happen, like the needle might just prick you somewhere. Even during the surgeries, the scalpel which is used, sometimes it might cut through your gloves.
Oh my
So
God.
this things happen. Okay. So you have to be.
So this is something which is called as cross infection?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is something which is it's the occupational hazard.
Yeah. So doctors and the healthcare workers
all the healthcare workers, yes.
Okay. So हमने symptoms की बात की, हमने vaccination की बात की, और ऐसे कौन से तरीके हैं जिससे कि एक आम आदमी अपने आप को कैंसर से बचा सकता है?
सो कैंसर से बचने के लिए ऐसा मंत्र तो नहीं है, बट व्हाट इज इम्पोर्टेंट इज दैट यू लिव अ हेल्दी लाइफस्टाइल. There are certain things which you need to avoid. One of the most important thing is smoking and tobacco. So tobacco and smoking is responsible for a huge cancer burden. Like about 30 to 40% of the cancer cases, or more than that maybe, are related to tobacco use. In India, the number is even bigger. Right. Because of the tobacco chewing, which is very common amongst the population. So avoiding smoking, avoiding tobacco products is most important. The other thing which is important is leading a healthy lifestyle, regular exercise, eating healthy food. This is very important because your body, if it is maintained well, even if you have cancer, it can be treated. You can handle the chemotherapy and recover well and live a normal life.
Okay, this is very interesting. So what you're saying is that someone who's healthy and living a very healthy lifestyle in terms of diet and exercising and doing all the right things, if that individual has to undergo chemo sessions, his or her body will be able to cope up with the negative impact of chemotherapy.
Yes.
And the recovery process will also be quite smooth.
Yes, absolutely.
Brilliant.
Because we have over the years, if you see, the cancer treatment has made so much progress in this treatment of it, that you have so many survival studies today.
Okay.
Like you have people who have undergone surgery, who have undergone chemotherapy, who have undergone radiation, and now they are living a completely normal life.
Okay.
You will have so many of those examples. Opposed to this, few years back, a few decades back, this was not the story. When somebody was detected with cancer, most of them were not able to survive it, and if they survived, they had a huge side effects or something. But now with the treatment, the advanced treatment, the side effects have gone down drastically.
Dr. Sabina, you spoke about hepatitis B vaccine. अब हेपेटाइटिस वर्ड जब मैं सुनता हूं तो मुझे जॉन्डिस ध्यान में आता है. तो ये हेपेटाइटिस और जॉन्डिस का क्या कनेक्शन होता है?
So jaundice जो है is a symptom. Basically, jaundice is the yellowness of your eyes, of the urine, or the yellowness of the skin. ये जो symptom है इसको jaundice बोलते हैं. Jaundice can be caused because of many different reasons. One of the reasons is hepatitis.
Okay.
Hepatitis जो है is infection of your liver. Now, infection of the liver can be by various viral organisms. So viruses like hepatitis A, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, hepatitis D, E. These are different viruses which can infect your liver and cause hepatitis. But jaundice can be caused not just by the infection, but it can also be caused by obstruction of the bile duct. Bile duct is basically अभी simple language में बोलना मतलब pipe.
Okay.
एक पाइप होता है जो लिवर में जो बाइल बनता है उसको इंटेस्टाइन तक लेके जाने के लिए जो पाइप रहता है उसको बाइल डक्ट बोलते हैं. तो अगर बाइल डक्ट में कोई भी ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन होता है तो उसके वजह से जॉन्डिस हो सकता है.
Okay.
तो ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन कैन बी बिकॉज ऑफ स्टोन, जैसे गॉल स्टोन्स होता है. तो वो गॉल स्टोन अगर बाइल डक्ट में अटक जाता है तो उससे वजह से भी जॉन्डिस हो सकता है. या उधर अगर बाइल डक्ट में कोई ग्रोथ है, जैसे कैंसर ग्रोथ है, तो उसके वजह से भी जॉन्डिस हो सकता है. सो जॉन्डिस कैन ऑल्सो बी अ सिम्टम ऑफ कैंसर.
Oh.
So when a patient goes to a doctor with the symptom of jaundice, so the first thing the doctor will do is do the test on him to see what is the reason for that jaundice. So he will do his liver function test. अगर वो viral hepatitis है तो उसके जो liver enzymes है जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं या SGOT, SGPT will be raised in thousands. Whereas if it is because of obstruction or something, the SGOT, SGPT will not be raised so much. So whenever you go with all these symptoms to a doctor, they always write you a battery of tests. So that is because why do the doctors usually give this long list of tests?
Mhm.
This is because in 9 out of 10 patients it might be hepatitis, but in that one patient
Mhm.
it can be because of cancer, the jaundice.
Okay.
So the doctors will give all this liver and examination test in all the 10 patients because they don't know कि कौन से patient में hepatitis है और कौन से patient में
Mhm.
it is cancer.
Mhm.
So and based on this viral markers जो बोलते हैं या liver markers, you can tell whether it is hepatitis or whether it is obstructive jaundice जो बोलते हैं.
Okay.
फिर अगर obstructive jaundice है, they will have to do an ultrasound,
which is sonography.
a sonography, to see if it is some stone or if it is a growth. If it is a growth, then they will have to do an endoscopic biopsy of the growth to know whether it is a benign growth or a malignant growth.
And that is where you will then come in the picture.
The
and samples will be sent to
sent
you.
to us, yeah.
Okay.
And we will have to tell whether it is a cancer or if it's some benign growth which is obstructing the bile duct.
Okay. So jaundice जैसी साधारण बीमारी मैं इसके लिए बोल रहा हूँ क्योंकि जॉन्डिस को हम बहुत लाइटली लेते हैं कि जॉन्डिस हो गया. लेकिन आप ये बोल रहे हैं कि जब जॉन्डिस होता है तो सारे टेस्ट करवा के, जिसको बैटरी ऑफ टेस्ट बोलते हैं, ये फाइंड आउट करना बहुत जरूरी है कि जॉन्डिस का रीजन क्या है. अगर वायरल इन्फेक्शन की वजह से हुआ है तो हेपेटाइटिस ए पॉजिटिव आता है जॉन्डिस के रिपोर्ट में, और बाकी अगर कोई रीजन है जैसे कि गॉल स्टोन जो बाइल डक्ट में पाया जाता है तो उसे फर्दर इन्वेस्टिगेट करना पड़ेगा, या कोई लंप
अगर कोई ग्रोथ है तो वी नीड टू बायोप्सी एंड सी व्हाट दैट ग्रोथ इज.
और ये लंप और ग्रोथ भी बाइल डक्ट में ही पाया जाता है.
इट कैन बी इन बाइल डक्ट, इट कैन बी इनसाइड द लिवर, इट कैन बी इन द गॉल ब्लैडर और इट कैन बी इन द पैनक्रियास.
और इस वजह से भी जॉन्डिस
हो सकता है.
ओके.
And something that I would like to add about pancreas is I think we have heard about CA pancreas in a lot of famous people.
Steve Jobs,
yeah.
Manohar Parrikar, yeah.
Yes. And the bad thing about pancreatic cancer, it is often diagnosed at a very late stage. Like so this is where the problem is with the cancer. The symptoms are very subtle. And if the organ in which the cancer is happening is deep inside the body, like how the pancreas is. Pancreas is placed very deep inside the body.
Okay.
It is very difficult to diagnose it early.
लेकिन कोई symptoms नहीं आते हैं.
इसका symptom एक तो jaundice है.
Okay.
दूसरा तो it is non-specific, like bloating, reflux, some or some kind of mild pains. But there are no specific symptoms for it. That's why this cancer is often diagnosed at late stage when it is not operable. Because pancreas is placed in such a way that it is deep inside the body. It is around a lot of important blood vessels. And that's why it's difficult to remove it. Opposed to this, organs like breast or thyroid, for that matter, they are very superficial. So any kind of growth in it can be detected early.
Okay.
Like in the breast, the lump can be felt very early. In the thyroid, it is a very obvious swelling which can be seen. And that's why these tumors can be detected early and treated. So the survival rate in a breast cancer or a thyroid cancer is much, much, much better than the survival rate in the pancreatic cancer.
Okay.
Pancreatic cancer, the survival rate is as less as 20 to 30%. Because it is always detected late. So like famous people like Steve Jobs, even in him, they couldn't treat
the pancreatic
cancer.
Yeah. Okay. Even Angelina Jolie got her mastectomy done. So what happens when someone gets the mastectomy done? And just to go into the background of the story, her mother was detected with cancer. And she got her gene testing done.
Yeah.
And then she was advised by the doctors that potentially she's at a risk of developing cancer, just like her mom, because she's inherited the same gene.
Same genes.
अगर आप थोड़ा समझाएं कि mastectomy होता क्या है?
So ये जो मतलब एंजेलिना जोली ने जो mastectomy किया, mastectomy is basically removing of the breast.
Okay.
Okay, bilaterally, दोनों साइड का.
Okay.
So this is something called as preventive medicine. मतलब कैंसर होने से पहले प्रिवेंशन के लिए ये किया जाता है. Now there's something called as gene testing which is done, which is for the breast cancer. There's a gene mutation which has been found, which is called as a BRCA gene.
Okay.
So ये BRCA gene जिसमें positive होता है, these people are at higher risk of developing breast cancer, of certain endometrial cancers, some ovarian cancers, some intestinal cancers. So in such a patient, such a people, I would rather say, it has been recommended that they need to take some preventive measures. Now, doing bilateral mastectomy is like the extreme measure. Okay. But such patients can go for, I won't say patients, I should say people should go for, regular health checkups, mammographies, or, pap smear testing, so that if there is any cancer or anything growing in the body, it can be detected at the earliest and treated. So now the thing is, with the BRCA mutation studies, if the patient is having breast cancer, which is found a little earlier, like usually breast cancers occur in women who are in their 45-50 age group. But nowadays we see a lot of young women getting it. So in those cases, when it is occurring at the younger age, that is when the BRCA testing is done. Now, in fact, it's done for everybody, but usually it was done for younger age group. In these patients, if the BRCA mutation is found, then their daughters are also tested for BRCA mutation. If the daughters have BRCA mutation, then they are recommended to undergo the preventive testing.
Okay.
Now, the problem with BRCA mutation is there's a lot of stigma that is attached to it. For example, suppose a mother is detected with breast cancer and she has a BRCA mutation. She has a daughter who is like in her teens maybe, or at a marriageable age. So she gets labeled as, having a BRCA mutation. And in our Indian society, for that matter, it becomes like a problem. So that's why a lot of people are avoiding this BRCA testing. But if you see the other side, if you get tested for BRCA at early age, it can help you to diagnose future. If in future there's any cancer, it will be diagnosed early and it will be treated. But a lot of people are shying away from the testing for this social stigma that is attached to it.
तो आपको लगता है कि ये थोड़ा एक्सट्रीम मेजर है?
Yeah.
मैं आपके साथ एक इंटरेस्टिंग एनेक्डोट शेयर करता हूँ. A few years ago, before COVID, I went to meet Dr. B.M. Hegde, a very renowned name in the Indian medical fraternity. And I spoke to him about Angelina Jolie and what is happening in the West. So he explained to me the concept of epigenetics. And he said that you will have the genes of your parents, but it is not necessary that those genes will express themselves in the same way they have expressed in your parents' body.
Exactly.
If you eat the same food that your father is eating, and if you live the same life that your father is living, you will also get the same disease that your father has got. But if there is a shift in the way you live your lives, and also the food that you eat, and basically the lifestyle, the expression of genes, can be altered.
Yeah.
तो ये बात सही है?
Yes, to some extent it's true. But what is happening is we are not living better, like healthier life than our parents. That's the fact, because we are not breathing a clearer air. We are not eating like they used to eat pesticide-free food. We have some amount of pesticides in our food. The water is contaminated. The air is polluted.
Yeah.
So as a matter of fact, it is difficult to live a healthier life than them. Maybe we are exercising more, we are controlling our diet and all, but still it's like, both the sides.
So this brings me to the next question, that women who were detected with cancer before marriage, and they are cured and they are, free of the disease, they are cancer free. If they get pregnant, what is the genetical risk to the baby?
So the answer to this question actually depends on many things. One of them would be what kind of cancer it was in the lady, what kind of treatment was done, what modality was used, like whether radiation was used, chemotherapy, surgery. So what was the modality which was used? So depending upon that, there are some cancers and post treatment maybe they might not be able to conceive. And there are certain cancers in which they will conceive and have a absolutely normal baby. So like I would give you an example. While this is my own colleague basically. So while I was studying, I was doing my MD in Tata Memorial Hospital. I had a friend, and one day we just noticed that she had a swelling on her thyroid.
Oh.
And it was just a swelling. So we just thought, we need to investigate, because being in Tata, we were like, every swelling has to be investigated. So they got an ultrasound done, and then it showed that it was a single nodule, a tumor-like thing. So then we had to get an FNSC, which is a test, like a kind of a biopsy, fine needle aspiration. And it turned out to be a papillary carcinoma of thyroid. Okay. It was a big shocker at that time.
So it is like a thyroid cancer.
It's a thyroid cancer, which is seen in young women. So then she was immediately counseled, and she underwent the thyroid removal surgery. Post that, she was put on the radioiodine therapy, everything. She was, after a few months, she was declared completely cancer free.
Okay.
That she was a young lady, right? Unmarried. Post that, she got married, and I have to tell you, she's very happily living. She has 2 kids now. So I think she's living an absolutely normal life post the cancer. So it is one of the stories which shows that cancer is not the end of life.
Yeah.
You have life after it. But the key to it is it was diagnosed early, it was treated well, and she was fit and fine to handle the treatment.
डॉक्टर सबीना, हम ये जानना चाहेंगे कि क्या बच्चों को भी कैंसर होते हैं, और अगर कैंसर होते हैं तो किस प्रकार के कैंसर होते हैं?
हर कैंसर जो है वो एक पर्टिकुलर एज ग्रुप में होता है. लाइक जो बड़े लोगों में कैंसर होते हैं, जैसे ब्रेस्ट कैंसर हो, सर्वाइकल कैंसर हो, लंग कैंसर हो. So these cancers are not seen in the children. So children, there is a different types of cancers which are seen. So the commonest cancer which is seen in kids is leukemia, or the blood cancer.
Okay.
The other would be lymphoma, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma जिसे बोलते हैं.
उसमें क्या होता है?
So lymphoma is cancer of the lymph nodes. So lymph nodes are present. These are groups of lymph nodes which are present in different parts of the body. And the cancer can develop in these lymph nodes. Okay. So that is called as a lymphoma.
तो जहां कहीं पे भी लिम्फ नोड्स हैं, वो सारे लिम्फ नोड्स में ट्यूमर डेवलप होते हैं क्या?
कोई भी ग्रुप में ट्यूमर डेवलप हो सकता है, और उसको लिम्फोमा बोलते हैं. So the first commonest is leukemia, lymphoma, and the brain tumors are also very common in children.
Okay. तो इसमें भी अर्ली डिटेक्शन इज द की.
अर्ली डिटेक्शन.
और बच्चों को अगर कोई ऐसे सिम्टम्स आए, अनयूजुअल, अबनॉर्मल एनॉमलीज अगर देखी जाए बच्चों की बॉडी में, तो पेरेंट्स को इमीडिएटली उसे मेडिकल अटेंशन देना चाहिए.
सो ओवर द इयर्स देखा गया है कि द अमाउंट ऑफ कैंसर सर्वाइवल इन चिल्ड्रन हैज इम्प्रूव्ड अ लॉट, बिकॉज अभी डिटेक्शन भी जल्दी हो रहा है कंपेयर टू 90s और 80s के कंपेयर में. अगर आप अभी का प्रेजेंट डेटा देखें तो द सर्वाइवल रेट हैज इम्प्रूव्ड.
Okay.
This is maybe because of one is early detection. Second is the newer modalities. बहुत सारा नया ट्रीटमेंट ऑप्शंस अभी अवेलेबल हो गया है. तो इसके वजह से चिल्ड्रन कैंसर सर्वाइवल इज इम्प्रूविंग अ लॉट ओवर द इयर्स.
क्योंकि आप अर्ली डिटेक्शन की बात कर रही हैं, तो मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाहता हूँ कि कैंसर के लिए कोई ऐसे टेस्ट अवेलेबल है, कोई ऐसा टेस्ट जिससे कि पता चले, कोई ऐसा मार्कर बॉडी में जो अबनॉर्मल हो, और वो पर्टिकुलर टेस्ट से हम उस मार्कर को डिटेक्ट कर पाए? ऐसा कोई टेस्ट अवेलेबल है, कोई जेनेरिक टेस्ट अवेलेबल है क्या?
अभी तक हमारे पास इतना ऐसा कोई टेस्ट अवेलेबल नहीं है जिससे सब टाइप ऑफ कैंसर्स डिटेक्ट हो सकते हैं. ऐसा कोई भी सिंपल, कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव एंड नॉन इन्वेजिव टेस्ट तो अभी नहीं है. बट देयर आर सर्टेन थिंग्स दैट वी प्रमोट. वन इज मैमोग्राफी फॉर ब्रेस्ट कैंसर, which will help you to detect a breast cancer at the earliest. The other test is pap smear. So pap smear testing is done to detect cervical cancer. So pap smear is the test which is done by the gynecologist
Mhm.
in female patients.
Mhm.
So they collect the smear from the cervix, and which is studied by the cytologist or the histopathologist.
Mm.
And then depending upon the study, we can say whether the patient has cervical cancer or not.
Mhm.
This is a very cheap, cost-effective test
Mhm.
which can be easily performed, and
Mhm.
it is recommended that all the women above 40 years should go for a pap smear testing.
Okay. How many times in a year?
Not it should be every other year.
Every other year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every other year at least.
Okay.
Then for males, there's a recommendation to do the PSA testing. So
Okay.
PSA is a simple blood test.
Mhm.
So which should be done by the males above 50 years of age.
Mhm.
This helps to screen for prostate cancer.
Okay.
So all men above 50 years of age should undergo PSA testing regularly.
Okay.
Every year
Okay.
is the recommendations.
Okay.
And depending upon the PSA values, we can detect if it's a prostate cancer or not.
आपने प्रोस्टेट कैंसर की बात की, तो इंडिया में परसेंटेज पर्सपेक्टिव से ये प्रोस्टेट कैंसर कितने मेल्स में पाया जाता है?
So exact percentage though I wouldn't be able to tell, but it is quite common. It is quite common. It is seen mostly in the older age groups. Like people in their 70s are the ones who are getting it commonly, but you see people in their 50s and 60s also getting it. And most of the time, prostate cancer is a slow growing tumor, but there are times when you see that it has spread everywhere in the body, like in the spine, in the lungs, and that is when it is detected.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it starts from the prostate,
but it can spread anywhere.
Okay. And again, the same question. इसका कारण क्या है prostate cancer का? Is there any specific reason for a prostate cancer to happen?
No, there's no specific reason for it. It's a multifactorial thing.
It is multifactorial.
Yes.
डॉक्टर सबीना, आज भी जब कैंसर ट्रीटमेंट की बात आती है और खासकर कीमोथेरेपी की बात आती है, तो पेशेंट्स और उनके फैमिलीज बहुत एप्रीहेंसिव होते हैं. एक प्रकार का रेजिस्टेंस देखा जाता है, क्योंकि कीमोथेरेपी को एक आम आदमी ऐसे समझता है जैसे कि कारपेट बॉम्बिंग होती है. जब दो कंट्रीज में वॉर चल रही हो और एक आर्मी को पता नहीं है कि वो कंट्री का एनिमी कहाँ पे छुपा हुआ है, तो वो पूरे एरिया में ही बॉम्बिंग कर देता है. वैसे ही कीमोथेरेपी में गुड सेल्स एंड बैड सेल्स बोथ आर न्यूट्रलाइज्ड इन द बॉडी. क्या ये बात सही है?
Yes, it is true that chemotherapy is like carpet bombing because most of the times it just kills all the cells which are rapidly multiplying in the body.
और इसी वजह से hair loss.
Yes. So chemotherapy drugs act on all the cells in the body which are rapidly multiplying. So your skin, your hair cells which are rapidly multiplying are the cells which are all affected. Even they get mouth ulcers, ulcers in the intestine and everything. This is because of that. Similarly, they have low platelet count.
Okay.
Because these are all the cells which are multiplying very rapidly in the body, and all of these cells are affected. But over the years, the side effects which have been caused by chemotherapy have gone down drastically now. There are many drugs, newer drugs, which have lesser side effects. I wouldn't say that they have no side effect, but less compared to what it was few decades ago. And more than that, in the recent times, there is a lot of research which is being done, and there are so many new modalities of treatment which have come up. There is a lot of immunotherapy. So this is against the lot of hormones therapy has come up. Then there is a lot of targeted therapy treatments which have come up. Like for example, imatinib karke drug hai, which will act only on the cancer cells. So, and it is benefiting these patients a lot and with very few side effects. So with all these modalities available, the cancer treatment has become much less toxic. It has become more targeted and much more result oriented. I mean, the results are much better than what it was few decades ago.
Right.
So there is no need to fear it anymore.
लोगों को डरने की जरूरत नहीं है.
हाँ, और early detection होगा तो definitely the response of the body is very good.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
so I think there is no need to fear cancer anymore.
Mhm.
It's only thing is it has to be detected early.
Dr. Sabina, it was an amazing conversation. The information that you shared was so enlightening, and it is going to help thousands of people who will watch this. Uh, Thank you so much once again.
Welcome.
There were a few things that you spoke about, and I would just want to recap you know those things again for the benefit of our viewers. So Dr. Sabina uh, spoke about three important things in today's podcast regarding cancer care and cancer cure. The first thing that she said is किसी भी symptom को आप ignore नहीं करें. Any kind of abnormality found in your body shouldn't be ignored. और अगर उस सिम्टम को आप एड्रेस करते हैं मेडिकली तो आप कैंसर से बच सकते हैं. दूसरा उन्होंने ये कहा कि अगर किसी को कैंसर हो भी जाता है और उसे कीमो या रेडिएशन या कैंसर की कोई भी ट्रीटमेंट लेनी पड़ती है तो ऐसे लोग जो अपने आप को फिट रखते हैं, जिनका डाइट ठीक है, जो हर रोज एक्सरसाइज करते हैं, जो ठीक से सोते हैं, उनकी रिकवरी बहुत जल्दी होती है और they are able to cope up better with all the cancer treatments than a normal person who's not exercising and who's not taking care of his health. और तीसरा उन्होंने ये बताया कि किसी भी कैंसर ट्रीटमेंट और उसकी साइड इफेक्ट से अब डरने की जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि आज से 20 साल पहले जो कैंसर की ट्रीटमेंट थी और उसके जो रेपरकशंस थे ह्यूमन बॉडी पे, आज क्योंकि इतनी ज्यादा रिसर्च हुई है, उन्होंने इम्यूनोथेरेपी की बात की और ऐसी बहुत सारी चीजों की वजह से कैंसर ट्रीटमेंट के जो रेमिफिकेशंस है ह्यूमन बॉडी पे वो काफी सबड्यूड है. दोस थिंग्स अगेन फॉर द बेनिफिट ऑफ आवर व्यूअर्स.
I would like to really thank you for inviting me. It was really nice discussing all this topic. And there's something that I would like to share. Like what the take home message should be, that yes, cancer is a dreaded disease, but if it is detected early, it can be completely cured. So the key to cancer treatment is early detection. And here I would like to give a message to the women, because in my practice I have seen that it is the women who tend to kind of avoid going for the checkups.
Correct.
Because the
and
breast
sometimes
cancer,
also ignore the symptoms.
They ignore the symptoms because the breast cancer, the thyroid cancer, which are the commonest cancers in women, are very superficial, can be easily detected at the early stage. But women, in spite of noticing it, will tend to avoid going to the doctor. Lot of time it is because they are shy to consult a doctor, or sometimes it's because it's okay, it will go away with my prayers or something like that. But this is where they go wrong, because this is what advances the cancer stage and it becomes difficult to treat it. So I would request all the women, if you notice any kind of a swelling in your body or any kind of an atypical symptom, please do consult your doctor.
Thank you, Sabina, for this amazing and enlightening information that you shared on this podcast. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
अगर आपको ये पॉडकास्ट अच्छा लगा हो तो इसे जरूर से लाइक करें. इस पॉडकास्ट को आपको आपके परिवार वालों के साथ, आपके दोस्तों के साथ, आपके रिश्तेदारों के साथ और उन सारे लोगों के साथ जिनको कैंसर हुआ था या कैंसर हुआ है, उसे जरूर से शेयर करना चाहिए. और नीचे कमेंट बॉक्स में हमें ये लिख के बताइए कि आपको ये पॉडकास्ट कैसा लगा और फ्यूचर में आप कौन से गेस्ट को सुनना चाहते हैं, कौन से सब्जेक्ट एक्सपर्ट को सुनना चाहते हैं, तो वो हमारे लिए बहुत आसान हो जाएगा उस एक्सपर्ट को बुलाना. I will see you next time with a new guest, with an interesting episode. Till then, take care. God bless.